Oh my god. This is already going really well. Okay, 50 Shades of Grey. We're doing this. It's happening. I want to say really quickly before we get started, just can we stop trying to make people feel bad about liking this book? Look, everybody has some weird sex stuff, and no one can control what does it for them, and I think it's shitty to try and shame people for thinking this is hot. And with that being said, I'm now going to mock the crap out of this book because I didn't like it at all. I'm making fun of the book, not the people who like it. It's an important distinction. So for the week of videos, I thought about letting you guys vote and pick any book you wanted for me to read and review, but then I realized that obviously you would pick this one because that's always what happens when people do that. So I just cut out the middleman. I have been reading it in secret because I thought it would be like a fun surprise if this just, you know, showed up one day and no one had any idea it was coming. But that was difficult because every 20 pages I really wanted to get on Twitter and be all, oh my god, this book, you guys, and I couldn't do that. So my copy of this book is really heavily annotated because that was the only way I could vent. Here's an annotation that just says, I hate everything. Okay, so summary. Anastasia Steele is a shy, retiring college student. Christian Grey is a handsome, successful businessman with a dark past. They meet. Sparks fly. They are drawn to each other in ways they can't explain. And then they bone down. Well, actually, they talk forever about boning down, and then they draw up some contracts about boning down, and then they make, like, some pro-con lists about boning down, but then after that they totally bone down. Which brings us to the major issue that I had with this book, which is that it's mostly really boring. Maybe it's just that I've spent so much time on the internet that the part of my brain that's supposed to register shock is just covered in scar tissue at this point. But when I was reading the first couple of chapters, I was like, man, this is really dull. Maybe it'll pick up when they actually start having sex. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Let's just go ahead and talk about the sex scenes. I know that's what you're here for. Okay, so the sex scenes are not very sexy. A few of them start out promisingly enough, but then there'll be a completely ridiculous line of dialogue. He's my very own Christian Grey flavored popsicle. Or someone will yank a tampon out of somebody else, which, yes, that is an actual thing that happens, and then chunk, which is the sound of a steel door slamming shut inside of my vagina. I'll admit it was really inconvenient to have a steel door installed inside my vagina, but it's been a boon for metaphors. And when it's not dull or unsexy, it's troubling. Have you ever had a friend who was dating a terrible dude, and anytime you or anybody tried to say anything about it to her, she would always be all, no, it's not like that. You don't know him like I do. Reading this book is like that. You're just sitting there reading it going, Anastasia, girl, what are you doing? And she doesn't listen to you either because, you know, she can't hear you because she's not real. Like, this relationship was just raising all kinds of red flags. Christian displays some classic abusive boyfriend behavior. He is incredibly jealous and possessive. He tries to prevent Anna from seeing her friends. He wants to control every aspect of her life. And his temper is out of control to the point where Anna herself often feels scared of him. And the thing that kills me is that this could actually be used in an interesting way. Imagine a story that explored being drawn to somebody who is terrible for you. And you know you shouldn't like them, but you can't help it, and it's slowly destroying you. That would be fascinating. But that's not what this is. It's just a fairly uncomplicated love story. And I think that that's ultimately what the problem is with 50 Shades of Grey. It's not that it's irredeemably terrible, it's just that it's full of wasted potential. And now, as a reward, I am going to read out for you the most hilarious lines from 50 Shades of Grey so that you don't have to waste your time reading it if you don't want to. Why is anyone the way they are? That's kind of hard to answer. Why do some people like cheese and other people hate it? Do you like cheese? Christian Grey, philosopher of our time. I want you to become well acquainted, on first name terms if you will, with my favorite and most cherished part of my body. I'm very attached to this. You may think I'm taking something out of context. I'm not. That is about exactly what you think it's about. Come, let's go to bed. I owe you an orgasm. Orgasm? Another one? My subconscious purses her lips and mouths the word hoe. This bitch's subconscious keeps talking to her, and which suggests to me that E.L. James does not understand what the subconscious actually is. Christian Grey just sent me a winking smiley. Oh my. I don't remember reading about nipple clamps in the Bible. Perhaps you were taught from a modern translation. Okay, that's actually intentionally funny. Good job on that, E.L. James. Because I'm 50 shades of fucked up, Anastasia. Title drop, motherfucker! The woman who brought me into this world was a crack whore, Anastasia. Go to sleep. No, I'm sorry. You can't just drop a bomb like that and then be like, well, good night! A fantasy. A castle in the air, adrift from the ground, safe from the realities of life, far away from neglect, hunger, and crack whore mothers. So thank you for watching. I'm gonna finish this and then drink some water so I don't have to edit with a hangover tomorrow. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.